Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, August 30th to Saturday, September 5th. So last week was quite a week. We had that very high vibrational day on Thursday where it was the very beginning of a very beautiful portal, if you will, for manifestation. So I know a lot of people were really challenged last week, were really triggered last week. And a lot of that is because, again, every single time that the cosmos blesses us with a perfect opportunity to raise our vibration, to raise the grander, greater collective's vibration, we are going to be hit with some challenges and triggers in order to try and keep our vibration down. But I just want to thank you for those of you that were able to really rein in your mental power and overcome those challenges and stay in the light, stay high vibe. You really did do a beautiful job contributing to the greater, grander collective. It did kind of bust a beautiful pathway into the weekend where, yes, there has been conflict, there has been triggers, there has been absolute devastation, but at the same time, we really are just unveiling the darkness, unveiling the heaviness, unveiling the damage and destruction that has been taking place for many, many moons now. It's just coming to light, it's getting illuminated, and this is part of the purge that needs to happen in order for us to move into new earth. So it's a beautiful time, even though it doesn't look beautiful on your TV or in your newspapers. That is half of the problem. Please, please, please recognize that you are really being fed a negative narrative by these bigger corporations in order to keep your vibration low. The whole goal is to keep our vibration low so that we don't ascend into a new earth where love and compassion and unity and empathy rule over the people instead of the power, the corruption, the destruction that only a very select few humans on this earth, I use quotes saying humans because some of these people are very inhumane in what it is that they do to reign their control and reign their power over the people. So the Great Awakening 2020 is here. It is shaking us up. And I hate to tell you, but as I've been talking about, the last 6 months of 2020 are going to be far more chaotic than the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year was the catalyst. It was the trigger point that needed to happen in order for this awakening to take place. And now, just to give you a quick idea, here we are, the last couple of days of August. We're about to bust into September here, and definitely pay attention to the Astro Tarot forecast that I drop on Tuesday for September, because September is going to be a very game-changing type of month. We have just a couple of months left of 2020 to really rearrange things, to peel back the veil, to get very real with ourselves, to let the old paradigm of our old beliefs, our old behaviors, our old ways of doing things dissipate and allow a new paradigm to take over. This is all divinely scripted. It is all divinely monitored. We are, of course, standing in the light. Light always wins. And so anytime those lower fear type of vibrations creep in, just remember that we are changing seasons. We are about to embark on the age of Aquarius, which is the conscious collective. We have been in the age of Pisces, and the age of Pisces was the unconscious collective, all this stuff going on in the world that we weren't conscious of, we didn't have an awareness of. And now, after thousands of years of this cycle, we're jumping into the new age. This is Aquarian age where humanity is first. We're coming together with like-minded people to build a community of love and empathy and unification is the main goal. But in order for us to break away from the old paradigm, there has to be damage, there has to be death, there has to be destruction. And I don't just mean death of the human body, I mean death of identity, death of parts of ourselves that have been blocking our blessings, preventing us from moving into a higher vibration where eventually we are all going to align and vibrate together. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So anytime you are tested, do not allow fear to override your faith, because the light always wins. So today, Sunday, August 30th, we have an intense energy here today. Again, let me just remind you, we had the last 2-3 days that have been really, really favorable for setting down some intentions, for planting those seeds for eventual manifestation. And so today we are really being faced with a high pressure intensity. We can blame Venus opposing Pluto with that. Of course, Venus being about love and beauty and pleasure and money and long-term commitments, versus opposing means sitting across from Pluto, the god of the underworld. This is where death comes in, where transformation comes in, where rebirth comes in. And a lot of that can only happen when we stand up and take control, when we stand up and we take our power back. But this particular energy today, we're going to really get a slap in the face as far as the reality check goes, because today's energy wants us to face our attachments. What have we grown so attached to that we have basically blended our identity and egoic self into, and now we're having a realization, oh my goodness, what if I lose this? What if this is taken away from me? What if this ends? Right? So Venus being about love, typically you're going to see this manifest in one of two ways, either in close relationships, it could be non-romantic or romantic, or it could be about money, about possessions, about values. We get super attached to the 3D human basic things here, which are people, places, and things. And sometimes we get so entrenched with that, it becomes our identity that, sometimes we get scared. What if this is taken away from me? What if this falls apart? What if I lose this? That in itself is very sobering. So today we are going to see a lot of triggers come up, a lot of confrontations, maybe even some conflicts with other people if it is the relationship that's being tested here. Nonetheless, complicated emotions, complicated feelings are rising to the surface. We're feeling a little bit uncomfortable with the realization of, oh my goodness, what if this is taken away from me? What would that mean for me? Who would I be without this? That is a hard pill to swallow. But uncomfortable as it may be, we have to really just realize that we can only heal what it is we feel. And although we want to resolve things very quickly so that we don't have to sit in this energy, we don't have to feel this, we don't have to feel overwhelmed, pushing too hard for answers right now is only going to lead to more frustration, more vulnerabilities. There is a high level of fear-based thinking, fear-based vibrations happening right now with this particular energy between Venus and Pluto. And it is really just best advised if you could just retreat just a little bit. We have Venus in Cancer, right? Which is very home-based, which is very introverted, which is very much about security, especially where our emotions are concerned. And again, Pluto is in Capricorn, which is systems, structures, foundations that have been built upon that might not be working, that need to kind of be shifted into a better paradigm. But in order to do that, we have to loosen our grip. We have to surrender a little bit. We have to give whatever it is that we're so attached to a little bit of space to see what that would mean for us if for some reason, whether it's people, places, or things, are taken away from us. So it's better just to step back today, to kind of retreat, to find what is safe, what is familiar, what is stable as far as your emotional values go, and just kind of step back, contemplate, sit with whatever's coming up, and just know that this too shall pass. We also have Mercury opposing Neptune. So our mental frame, the messenger of the gods, kind of sitting across the table from illusions, dreams, imaginary states, confusion, if you will. And so having this particular element on top of Venus opposing Pluto is really just challenging us. We're not able to see things in a realistic tone. We're kind of confused about things. All the challenges that are coming up with the previous energy and attachments and fear-based thinking about loss and all that kind of stuff is really not helping us today. We are very challenged when it comes to clear thinking, rational thinking, realistic thinking. We're definitely letting our minds wander, and we're definitely letting our minds wander into the darkness. So we want to do what we can to stay grounded, to stay centered, to stay in the light. We're likely to miss a lot of the details going on today because of that confusion, because of that overwhelming intensity. And with the moon in Aquarius, it really does kind of amplify where we've been too attached to things. Like the moon in Aquarius wants us to be free. It wants independence. It wants to do what is best for us, do what is best for other people, but on our own terms. Conformity is not something that goes well with the moon in Aquarius. And with all these major heavy hitting planets in Capricorn, that is all about restriction, all about conformity, all about sticking to old traditions and old ways of doing things. And that's not the place that we're in this particular cosmic script right now, in this particular year. We are very much needing to realize where we need to break free of old systems, old structures, old paradigms in order to create new ways of doing things, thinking outside of the box, thinking just more than just you, and bigger about the collective, about humanity. So today is definitely a tough day. So manage your energy and definitely keep control of your mental plane as good as you possibly can. Stay as grounded as you can. And again, this too shall pass.